Hello, my name is Brian, this is Football Manager 22, and we're back in Liga. We're checking in on the Spanish club ranking page, and as you can see, we are no longer below any second or third tier teams, and we're in fact not the lowest La Liga Santander team. We are sitting comfortably in the lower quarter, but hey, we're moving up. We just really need to climb a few more spots and get that next half star. I think that'll really unlock our potential. It'll unlock the big clubs, the players from the big clubs not instantly rejecting us for loans and such. So let's move into the club vision screen. They are delighted we signed players on the age of 23 for the first team. I'm not sure how much we've done that really, but we've done a little. We don't have any judgment on playing possession soccer or high-tempo pressing soccer, but that's the style of soccer we play, so it should be fine. We are working within the payroll budget. We didn't do much this year in terms of turnover over the summer window, in terms of acquisitions. I wish we had. I wanted to, but just couldn't find the players, and I'm not going to spend money just to spend money. We are building a new stadium. Again, not that I have much control over this little bit right there. We are tasked with avoiding relegation. That is no longer fight bravely against relegation. So if we get relegated, we might get fired. We should not get relegated. And still to reach the third round of the Copa del Rey. We've put in a request for more coaches, which was granted. We're up to 10 now, which is good. That means we can have 2 fitness coaches and 2 goalkeeping coaches, so we can have them dedicated to each of those tasks, which are generally split. And we can have 1 coach at each of the 6 kind of individual positions, like technical defense and tactical attacking, and yeah, so there's 6 of those. So we can have 1 coach in each of them, and then we can also have a coach cover all of them to make sure that the coaches don't get overworked, because if the burden on the coaches becomes too heavy in one particular sector, their efficiency drops. We're also working to improve training facilities. We did just get those improved to good last year. I believe on the 20-point scale that is underneath the text answers, a good is probably a 12, so we'll probably increase to a 14. 20 is world class in the top level, so we'd have 14, 16, 16, 18, 18, 20. Still possibly 3 more increases to go, but good to great might be also sending us to 16. There's a chance, I'm not sure. And yeah, they're working on the grounds. So let's take a look at the transfers we did do. So Babagnita and Daniels were a very good winter acquisitions last year. We signed Friday Anthony on a free. We'd actually been looking to possibly pay for him, but his Portuguese side he wasn't willing to sign with them, so we got him on a free. It was nice. Very good mental attributes, very good physical attributes, a little bit lacking in the technical attributes. He's out on loan. Again, if we get our reputation increased that another half star, I think these prices will really jump. It's like, oh, now we're buying real La Liga players or real La Liga prospects, and people will start paying for that. It's not superstar prospects, but real La Liga prospects, while they're still kind of like, you're just relegation fodder. We're not going to pay for your prospects. We can just get them later. And yeah, here comes the pair of like mistakes I made. They're not huge, but I signed Ali Masengi here. Again, it only cost me 32k. So how big of a mistake is it from Estrela, another Portuguese side? And his stat block is solid. His attribute block is solid. But unfortunately, the coach's scouts put him at a 2-star current ability, 3-star potential ability. He's really just a fringe player. I mean, that's all. I wasn't expecting him to supplement Gayabua or Yusuf, but I was kind of hoping that he could at least supplement Gonzalez, and I still think Gonzalez might be a better player than him. Gonzalez is certainly more flexible, but he's on the roster, such as it is. And then we signed Mustafa Carbucci. I didn't have a full scouting report when I got this guy, and things just got worse and worse. What I did have is I had passing and technique in the yellow, like big yellows there, and maybe undecisions as well. I'm like, oh, wow. And the other stuff I had wasn't terrible. Like, his pace range was probably like 8 to 12. Well, he's on the lower side of that, and his personality is terrible. He has one determination. His personality is easily discouraged. He's just 16, so it's easy to throw him into the U19 program and let him sit there forever, but that was a mistake, and we overpaid for him. In that we paid for him at all. We do have a U19 team now. I mean, we always had a U19 team, but now we have a U19 that plays matches in Division de Honor Juvenil Grupo 4. The two other teams that we have to worry about, I think, probably in Grupo 4 are Real Betis and Sevilla. Not these other teams will be bad, but those are the two kind of regular La Liga teams that we're in a group with. Malaga is a decent team. Recreativo. I assume this is La Coruña. Oh, de Puebla. I don't know them. But yeah, so we have a U19 team. They're actually going to play. They've won their first 4 games already. Thumbs up. We will get back to them in a brief moment. But, so yeah, Carbucci is theoretically playing for them. And then we get to our actual signings that impact the first team. Introducing our new left back, Enzo Boyomo, who we brought from Lyon. He is of Cameroonian descent. It was Cameroonian descent, not born in Cameroon, right? Yeah. 13s on both of his pace and acceleration. He has 11 crossing, 13 marking, 11 tackling. So he had the defensive attributes I wanted because I want a left back who can track back and play defense as well. The problem, of course, is that dribbling stat at 6. That's bad. But the thing is, I don't really want most of my players, let alone my left back, making big dribble runs. So for me, that's actually less bad than it usually would be. His current ability is only rated 2.5, and I believe our Cruz is rated at 3. But I'm fine with it. I'm running with him. He's my starter. I would have liked to find again a better player. They're out there, but they're rare at left back. And then this was the luxury signing. I think it was my scouts came to me with this player out of the Ivorian Coast League. ASEC Mimosas is in the Ivory Coast League. He is from Côte d'Ivoire himself. Last year he scored 20 goals in 33 appearances in the Ivory Coast League, 7.11 rating average. So he really tore up. He's still just 20. Emmanuel Jajeje. I did look up how to pronounce that. I actually recorded this video before, and in the middle of recording, I managed to tab off the recording, and so I lost the back half of it. So you're going to miss the beautiful linguistics lessons we had. So I didn't really want another striker. I already have Kawio up top, as well as some other players who can rotate in there. But getting a guy like this, 3.5 star, 5 star, 4 to 5 star potential, at age 20 for under $2 million, and his value is already shot up to 8.2 to 10.5 million, is just, I had to. You just got to buy that player. He's been rotating with Kawio. We've played 4 games so far. They've each played 2. Kawio has, unfortunately for him, had the tough games. Jajaje has had the easy games, and in the last one, in fact, Jajaje scored a hat trick. So great for him. He is a very weird player. He's not exactly the player I would usually go for. His pace isn't amazing. His finishing is only a 9. His passing is only a 9. But he's got 17 strength, 16 jumping reach, 16 balance. So he's like a super target man. But once he gets the ball, he's not like the best at doing anything with it. I mean, he's okay. 9 finishing. It's not terrible. 11 composure. But it's not amazing. But he does have 15 heading as well. So he's going to score a bunch of goals with his head. And just everything falls right. He's going to score goals. He scored 3 already in an easy game, but wasn't nothing. Then there's the 3 free transfers. They're all bad players, and everyone is unhappy that I signed them. And I get that, but we have a U19 team that actually plays games now. And the problem is we weren't really keeping track of the positional distribution of our players in the U19s, and so we have a bajillion players who can play the attacking positions, and we had basically no defensive players. I believe we had like one right back and one center back. At least we had two goalkeepers. So I signed 3 like center backs, potentially left backs, to come in and play poorly on the back line to at least be depth as we need it. I wish I could toggle that. It's like, I don't expect these guys to ever be good. Please don't judge me on this signing. They're just here to fill space. They don't really cost anything. Deal with it. But yeah, you know, they're bad. I still trying to figure out where they're hiding. Are they unavailable for this team? Well, that's just fitting, isn't it? Cool. So we'll have to worry about that more in the future, signing a balanced team. And we signed Wilson Jallo, player of Guinea-Bissau descent from Fafe. I believe this is a Portuguese side, yes. 1.5 star current ability, 3.5 to 4.5 star potential ability. Left winger, though he's right-footed, so he's an inverted winger on the left, which is a little awkward since we play left-footed. On the other hand, he has 20 determination, which is nice compared to our other guy we signed who has 1. 12 passing, 13 pace, 13 acceleration. So he does his things that he does there really well, 14 dribbling. So he's out on loan to see if he can develop. And again, if we make that half-star jump, if nothing else, we'd probably be able to at least make our money back on the sale. In terms of competitions, we are sitting in our beloved 8th place. This is our spot. 8th is for us. We are 2 wins and 2 losses after 2 games, but you can't really blame me when I show you the schedule. We went to Barcelona for the first game and lost 1-2, and then we went to Atletico Madrid for the 3rd game and lost 1-2. We actually played both of these games pretty damn well. We were 1-1 with Barcelona through 89 until Antonio Griezmann broke our hearts there late, and we were 1-1 through 65, 66 against Atletico, and then Chadi Riyad stuck his foot into an attacking player's legs unnecessarily and drew a penalty in the 66th. So, and those are both the road games. Now, we did play a little more defensive than usual. We didn't create a new defensive formation or anything, but we just took some of our roles and moved them back from our standard formation. On the other hand, our 2 home games against Valencia and Villarreal have been great. 3-0, 3-1. Chad Daniels has 2 goals and Fatou had a goal, and then we had the Jajaje hat-trick in this one. So that takes us to our next game. It is a road trip against Gijón. They are just coming up from the 2nd tier this year. They have been kind of a bouncy team between the 1st and 2nd tiers. So they're all right, but they're certainly not anything that impressive. Luis Enrique was... on their Legends list or whatever it was. So yeah, we're going to go to tactical meeting. They are 19th. They have 2 losses, 2 draws, only 2 points. They want us to be cautious. Come on. Positive mentality... I don't care about the B team. Please don't show me the B team. Akawa is going to be up top. We're going to start Michael and Fatou there. Daniels and Gabio in the middle. Youssef in the back. Cruz, Sessingen on the wings. Nope, sorry. Where is Boyomo? And also I'm going to check the B team to see if we have a goalkeeper in the B team. We do. He will be playing. Bayeste picked up a knock and is out for like 4 weeks. He's a full-time backup, so not a concern for that. But I would rather have... Merchant here as the backup rather than some grayed out player. Riyad Matsima in the back. Yep, so that's what we're going to do. Really only 2 changes from the last game. We are in a bit of a busy stretch here. We just came off an international break. We have this game, and then we have, I believe, a week midweek game and then another weekend game, so we have 3 in like 7. So getting some fresh legs on the pitch early is definitely going to benefit us. So I'd love if we could get ahead and create a little space so we can have the luxury of doing that. And then up top, where we have, players who we trust, like Jaja now, Charles Abbey to a lesser extent, we can do a more full rotation over the midweek stretch and not feel bad about it. Unfortunately, an early turnover here. We're in blue, and Home is in red and white, the candy stripes. Gabriel Batista has the ball and is going to think about what he wants to do. I bet he punts it long. Oh, throws it out, but Cowio intercepts easily. Unfortunately, at that distance, he can't really outrun the other attacking side, and when he goes for it, blasts it over the net. The opponents are in a 4-3-3, kind of matching us. We don't have any information here about their roles, so I don't know exactly whether they're, wingers or inside forwards or what. Chad Daniels just picked up a yellow card here in the 21st minute. Fatou intercepts that. Driving down the left side, pass it up to Musa Michael. Musa Michael tries to square the ball, plays it off a defender. We'll have a corner. Sessingen should be taking this one. Speaking of which, since I looked up how to pronounce Ja JJ, I really should look up how to pronounce Sessingen, but I'm not tabbing out of this window just on the risk of breaking the recording again. But I know Sessingen comes out of the UK and has a brother, in fact, I believe at Tottenham. So please let me know if I'm wildly mispronouncing his name. Yeah. Interesting there. Ball's bombed forward. Their goalkeeper comes all the way out and bombs it back. Youssef passing up to Cowio. He's got a step. Chips the keeper. Chips the net. Brutal. Pablo take it, and Boyomo pretty easily heads it away, but we don't have anyone there as we had lined up pretty defensively to play off of their free kick. Manu makes a run. Musa Michael, that's Boyomo there, exchanges places. Daniel's playing it forward looking for Cowio. Cowio doesn't have a step, but does find Fatou on the right side. Fatou has a bit of open space, and unfortunately blasts it right as the defender cuts it in his path. Sessingen plays it into Youssef, and Youssef is going out to Daniels. Daniels going to find Boyomo on the left wing. Boyomo going to make a run for the end line. Looking for the cross, but doesn't really have a good opportunity. Daniels looking for Musa Michael, but he doesn't have his head around, and it's just kind of drifted into defender's pass. We should have encouraged the boys a bit ago, get their morale up. That was a terrible pass by Boyomo. I know you're bad at dribbling, but you're supposed to be okay at passing, Boyomo. Ball's played long to Matsima. Matsima with a bit of a drive there. Not what I want to see from him, but Fatou plays it out of Sessingen. Sessingen driving. There we go. Cowio. Off the foot, over the net. So yeah, there were definitely a couple of center backs who were eligible for our team based on my rules, who were coming out of, say, Man City and Manchester United, who we could have loaned in and maybe even had a conditional sale deal on, loan him for a year. If you like him, you can pay $30 million for him, which, who knows if we would have the funds to pull the trigger on that, but at the very least, they would be better than Riyadh and Matsima, no offense to our boys. And that's, we're looking to improve the team. But, players at that level still aren't, they don't treat us like a real La Liga side. They don't go, oh, well, we'll be playing in La Liga. They go, well, you'll just be relegated. I don't want to play on a team that's going to get relegated. I won't get good experience there. And we're but we placed 8th the last 2 years. Fatou, loved it. Did like the short post attempt. Unfortunately, Gabriel Batista closed it down. Fatou will take the corner here, left-footed. This moment, I wish Jaja J was in there. Bounced around the box like a pinball. Unfortunately, not a pinball that ended up in the net. And the Candy Stripes. Hihong will take it and slowly set up an attack. Pedro Diaz tries to reverse field with it. Does successfully. To Boisgard. Hey, I recognize that name. Been a little while since I'd seen Boisgard. I'm not sure where he was, if he was with Gijon or someone else last I knew. Amirion to Boisgard. Boisgard holds it up and passes it right to our boy Fatawu. Fatawu lays it back to Sessingen, lays it back to Matsima, finds Gayabua, finds Yusuf. Daniels going forward to Kawio. He's got a step. One-on-one the keeper. Chips a goal! Ibrahimo Kawio! Third goal of the year for our man, now tying up his fellow Ivory Coastian striker that we have, Jaja. Good stuff. Ball's played up to Riyadh and to Daniels. Yusuf over to Gayabua. Gayabua finds Kawio. Kawio plays it out to the edge to Fatawu. Fatawu does get on to it before it rolls out. Finds Sessingen poorly, but the defense does a worse job clearing it. And Fatawu strikes for net off of Gabriel Batista's hands. Sessingen will take the kick on the corner. Let's get one here. Nope. Kawio is just not the guy. Daniels with a nice little flick there to Musa Michael, but he doesn't have anything to do with it. Plays it back to Yusuf and out to Boyamo. Boyamo going to dawdle. Yep, okay, I like it. Then head for the stick, heading for the end line, but defender stays with the whole while. Luckily, Yusuf rotates over, does have a passing lane. That was inelegant, but in the end, not punished. Boyamo back with the ball. I think he had the opportunity there to make the run this time if he would just go for it, but he does not. He's afraid. Again, I'd like to see Yusuf just kind of turn into a fullback there and make a run to end line, but what can you do? Lovely turn and strike from Kawio. Almost converts. Batista makes a good diving save. Batista, the only thing keeping Gijon in this game, as they will, again, slowly start bringing the ball up. But they just don't have, I'm going to say this in cursus, but they just don't have the passing talent to hurt us that way. They really should be on the bomb it forward strategy. '65th inbreaker from Boisgard. Saved by Babangida. Yusuf, Gayabua, 67th minute. Yusuf back to Matsima. Matsima dribbling up, getting himself involved in the play. Musa Michael. There we go. Enzo Boyamo. No one's guarding him, but kind of stone foots it as we'd expect. And yeah, the play-in was okay. Kawio had a shot at it, but it wasn't amazing. Ball's parried out. Sessingen will be the first one there. Not sure what he's going to do with it. Trying to make some subs decisions. I'm going to pull Daniels. He's on a yellow card. I don't want to risk him coming off. Also, he's someone I'm happy to play every game if I can. So we will take him off, move Yusuf up to a center mid spot, and bring in Dadam. For now, that's all I'm going to do. I'm going to, keep an eye on fatigue at other spots. Yusuf with the header back to Nadam. Dom playing it forward, big for Kawio. He's got a step. Can he? Nope, can't maintain the step with possession. Okay, Fatawu on the right wing is tiring out. I think that calls for Abby. Yeah. And then I wouldn't be surprised if it's Sessingen we pull, looking for Ananu. In fact, yep, there it is. I wish Sessingen had a little bit of a gas tank, but his position is one of the more demanding on the team. He does have good stamina and natural fitness, so you'd think he'd be able to ride him out. But then again, Sessingen does start every game. He is an unquestioned best player at position. While, the attacking spots I rotate, I don't have a problem rotating, say, Nadam in and letting Daniels sit with Yusuf and Gayabua up top. We're putting Daniels in for either of those two. And at center back, I don't really mind Ananu or Festina to some degree. There we go, beautiful. Oh, Musa Michael, you just need to one-time that, buddy. You're just trying to do too much with it. I don't know why you're trying to get a good, clean, dribble with it before when it's just sitting in front. Just volley it. dangerous header there from their one of their center backs, Heinz, but goes wide. Thank goodness. I wish I could encourage the boys, but I know that will just inspire rebellion at this point. One of the annoying things. Nice job. Ball's played in. Oh, curving beauty from Charles Abbey. Sexy. And that'll calm the nerves there, is instead of holding on in the last 5 minutes, we don't have to worry quite as much. Sexy. I had at one point got an empty map of the African continent and had painted on kind of a heat map of where all of our players were from, or at least their national heritage, in cases where they are, in fact, British, Spanish, French in particular. But the text on it was just, what I was putting on was ugly. But spoiler, I believe we have 3 Nigerian players and 3 from the Ivory Coast. Based on where players are in Africa, that's good. That's probably not much of a surprise. Abby takes another strike on goal. We have 2 players from Angola, maybe a bit of surprise. 2 from Togo, also a surprise. And 2 from Ghana. So that rounds out the countries that have more than one player. And then we also have players currently from Cameroon, the Comoros Islands, the Congo, not the Democratic Republic of the Congo, the Republic of the Congo, Senegal, Morocco, South Africa, and Tanzania. So we are pretty well distributed. Goal for Emmanuel Gaibua, assisted by Frederick Ananu. Good job. 3-0 on the road. Love it. We'd like to see, but certainly Egypt is kind of a missing spot in terms of quality production. But Egypt's one of the few places that has a league that actually pays their players not a living wage, but a good wage. So they generally want millions of dollars to sign their players away. We try and operate on the cheap. Nadam does a poor job with the ball and bounces free to Boisgard, but they don't do anything with it. I don't know who is taking that corner there with Sessingen out. Youssef, apparently. Good job. We have signed a 15-year-old, 16-year-old to a futures contract out of, I want to say he's Tunisian. So he will be joining the team in 2 or 3 years. True EU countries, we can sign their young players and bring them over immediately. We cannot do that with players who are technically EU via the Cotonou Accords. They are still have to remain with their clubs until they are 18. But let's find him. Here he is. Azzedine Bourras, Paradou. Oh, sorry, he's Algerian, not Tunisian. 16 tackling, 16 determination, 14 leadership, 13 teamwork, 15 work rate, 11 first touch as a 15-year-old. He's unambitious, which, again, we didn't fully know at the time. And that grates my gears, man. If this kid had some ambition, yeah. 10 pace, obviously he's a center back, so we'd like to see that get at least 2 points higher to 12, 13, 14 be even better. It's possible. 10 marking, 9 passing, those are close enough that they could get to a place where he could be a very legitimate player. But yeah, I wanted him, and so I went and got him. He wasn't that expensive. He's from Algeria. We also have a Tanzanian center back coming in the future. Coming out of Tanzania. So we also have, I believe they're both, center backs on different timelines. So we all are looking forward to the future. And we're also trying to bring in this guy from Sevilla. Mohamed Doumbia, Malian player of Malian descent anyways. Just 16. Resolute, so that's a good personality. Paces of 12, accelerations of 15. Right-footed, which is a little awkward again given our configuration, but 4.5-star potential ability according to our scouts, and maybe a 5th. and he's willing to sign for us from Sevilla? Okay. I don't understand it, but I'm going to take advantage of it if I can. So that's where we're at. We just cruised up in the 6th place after that dominating victory over Port Gijón. I think things are going pretty well. Our team was so young, especially the attacking spots, that just improvements should keep us up, improving, and maybe we can finally grab those European qualification spots. Thank you so much for joining me today. I would absolutely please love to hear from you. Please say something. Otherwise, I just think I'm screaming into the void. I've had a lovely time. This was a great game, even though I'm repeating a lot of what I said in that video that just went away. And yeah, I will be back with a mid-year update in a couple of days. I hope you have a lovely day. Bye-bye.